Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back for another video. Today I want to talk about the season finale of Dead City Season 2. After a pretty slow, but albeit I think a pretty decent episode. We got a couple cameos and everything in this last episode, and so I really enjoyed that. So if you want to see the full review, please go check that out. I will leave a link above. But going in, making predictions and theories for our finale and what we could possibly see. I mean, we're going to see a war break out in New York. That's for sure. That much is clear with what we've gotten for the trailer and everything, and how people will change, how relationships will probably become fractured in a sense, and maybe beyond repair, or just it's going to take it's going to be a long road before those relationships are okay again, more so with Herschel and Maggie after the end of the last episode, after the big reveal. Much to my surprise, I was convinced that this woman was gone, but we got the reveal that Dama is alive. I mean, she's very haggard looking, and she has somehow survived being pinned under whatever it was and being almost burnt alive, even though Croat was there to watch, I assume, for at least some of it. But somehow she has survived, and she has Herschel. She has Maggie now too, after luring her in with Herschel's little firefly tale that he had told her about, and kind of brought up a memory of his childhood and everything. But we go into this next episode, and we're going to see what's going to happen with that relationship. What's going to happen to Dama? My guess is Dama is going to be on the receiving end of Lucille, just judging from what we've seen from the trailer and everything. And that's kind of a fitting end for her. Because people complained, I complained too, about how the end with Dama dying in that fire was pretty unsatisfactory. It was not fulfilling in a sense. If she were to be on the receiving end of that Lucille from Maggie of all people, that is definitely more fitting. And I don't know, it brings things almost full circle considering her history with the weapon and everything. So I'm excited to see just where it all goes and what will be left after the end. Who could possibly show up? Because I'm still holding hope that we will see a cameo from someone or an after credit scene, something leading into bigger events down the road with Walking Dead. Considering just it's just kind of season by season at this point. There's no real big plans in motion or anything, and that's what people want to see. So anyways, let's jump into my theories, my breakdown, my predictions for the next episode, and let's just go from there. So in this first picture, we have Dama and Herschel. Now we know that of course Herschel is back with the Dama after her miraculous survival of that fire and everything, and she has burrowed her way into his brain and made him think that she's everything that Maggie somehow could not be. Now, I know Maggie has had her issues. She is not able to move past this whole Negan thing, even though it's been about a decade in their time frame, and she's just not been able to move past it. And Herschel's felt ignored or disregarded or just very unloved, I guess. But really, I think the kid is just overreacting, and he's not really tried to connect with his mother or anything, and kind of pull her in from whatever she's feeling about the whole Negan situation. But Dama saw that. She stepped in, she brainwashed the crap out of him, and to the point where they have kidnapped his mother. And it's going to be a poetic end for her, I think. So we'll have to wait and see, and hopefully it plays out that way, honestly. Next frame, because they're on top of that roof that they're watching the Barazi, because we know a battle is coming, because Bruegel had made it known a couple episodes ago that he has every intention of attacking and taking out everyone, because he wants full control. That's all it is. He wants all the methane. He wants to be able to be in the commodities or whatever of what the world used to be, probably with air conditioning, heating, just different things that they don't have anymore. And he knows that the methane is the key to that. It should be interesting to see just how this fight or this battle breaks out, because we know, just judging, that it's going to break out in the church. Like, Negan's there waiting, ready to go, considering what he said at the end of this last episode, where he is going to kind of tap into a little bit of that old Negan, where he kind of references back to the old days of building the sanctuary. They didn't just, yeah, they conquered other communities, but they gave them the chance to provide to them. With Bruegel and his team and his intentions, he's not going to give him that chance. He's not going to give him a chance to kneel before him or anything. He's just going to take him out. Because we had at the end of the original Walking Dead, where Maggie and Negan kind of had a conversation about could they or would they change anything of that night. And Negan says he would have killed them all right then and there to save himself the trouble. And that's kind of what he's doing with this group. He could, go to war with them and conquer over them and everything, but in the end, they could still pose a problem. So he's not even gonna take that chance. Then we got Maggie here. She's being held captive by Dama, and I think at some point she's gonna be let go or something. And I'll get more into that with one of the other frames that I grabbed. But we got a shot of Bruegel here. Here's him and his team in the church, and then we got this next frame where Negan just has this smile on his face, like you just walked into something you don't even realize it. So I am very interested and excited to see just where this goes. How much of the old Negan will he tap into? Just considering I guess the events of this last episode where he's kind of had, you know, I don't know, a cathartic type moment with the hallucinations and everything of Annie and Lucille, just what he's going to do with that kind of newfound wisdom or whatever, or just understanding that he doesn't have to be that guy again, but he's going to take at least something out of his playbook and just you know deal away with the threat before it becomes a threat. Then we got Maggie because she of course does get out or she's released or whatever, going into the Brazzi, and she takes out these two dudes no problem. Then we got what looks like the New Babylon army. Now, I don't know if this is their entire army or what's going on here, because we know that Pearlie, at some point during the in-between time of the episodes and everything, after the death of Colonel Lucia and everyone that he had originally arrived with, that he's going to go back to New Babylon and recruit everybody. And this is probably some people that are there for the cause, but some people, just like we know, that they pull from other communities, they don't want to be there at all. So we'll see what happens there, because we have a shot of Pearlie here with some makeshift kind of battle armor / riot gear. Just what's going on here. Then we get Negan going up against a walker with his new Lucille. Now I would say this is in the church. A fight breaks out. They don't waste any time getting to the nitty gritty of it. When Bruegel shows up, and then you have the New Babylon people show up, and just shit's gonna hit the fan. It's just unavoidable. Because we got this dude. I don't think we've met him before. He's just one of the other marshals, I guess, busting in this room. There's clearly a walker, just a corpse on a table. So this is maybe the methane processing area, part of it anyways. Because we got Bruegel here facing up a bunch of walkers, because we can see that something happens, a fire breaks out within the church, and everyone's going to fight their way out. And so, like I said, I mean, it's going to get bad probably. We got 3 different groups here going up against each other. Negan just, I don't know, he's trying to set an example, make an example of Bruegel and his team, and probably things just kind of go sideways. Because we got what looks like Babylon people bum rushing this church as it's already on fire, and these people are cannon fodder. I mean, I hate to say it, but they're all gonna die. And hopefully with that will be the whole New Babylon storyline. Just, I'm kind of over that. Like a lot of people have said, it's just basically the Virginia army from Fear 2.0. That's all it is. You got these people in this colonial type get-ups or whatever, or just, I don't know what they're trying to do here. And then we got Negan fighting somebody. I'm not sure who this is, honestly. And we got what looks like the remains of a walker and maybe a methane processing tank or something. But Negan's fighting somebody, and I honestly don't know who it is. It's not Bruegel, I know that much, but maybe it's Croat again. Maybe Croat goes at him for something, but it doesn't look like him either. It could just be some random guy. Then we got Maggie, and in this moment, it almost looks like she's turning her back on Herschel, like realizing that he's kind of a lost cause for the moment. Like she's going to get back to him, but she's going to go deal with the problem, which is Dama. And that's what makes me believe that Dama is going to get that Lucille to the dome. She's going to get her head caved in by that new Lucille. It would be the best end for her, because that fire was a cop out and everything. So I'm hoping that's just where they're going to take it. Then we got Bruegel. This is him in the church, unloading, just burning everything to the ground, because we know that he's after the methane. He's going to do whatever he needs to get to it. And then the closing shot of the trailer, like I mentioned throughout this breakdown, this is Maggie taking and seizing a moment of opportunity. She gets this new Lucille. Looks like it's already been used a couple times, but we see that she sees this, and she sees this as a fitting end to the woman that brainwashed her son. That has to be where they're taking it. I think that's the best way they can take it. This woman definitely has it coming, And Croat, I don't know, with how he was in this last episode, it just feels to me that he is going to be doing something to redeem himself. I mean, he seems like he has the capacity for it, and I'm hoping that's just what they do with it. He's definitely more than likely going to be killed, but he's going to be doing it. It's going to happen to him doing something to save someone, to set something right. It's just that's I think the better end for his character rather than just be randomly killed off. But anyways, there is our breakdown, my theories, and my predictions for the finale of season 2. I can't believe we're already here. We're already at the end of season 2. Season 3 supposedly is in pre-production at the moment. Season 4 of Daryl is already filming. So we have some more Walking Dead stuff in the works. I'm hoping, upon hope that we get some sort of announcement this year at Comic-Con. I mean, we're coming up on about a month until San Diego Comic-Con. I'm hoping we get some sort of announcement or some indication that something bigger is in the works, because this season by season thing with Daryl and what I'm hearing about Daryl possibly lasting multiple seasons, I'm just like, please don't. They just need to wrap it up and quit dragging these characters out, quit dragging their stories out and trying to make it interesting along the way. We've kind of done everything that we can do with these characters, and they just need to close it out. They need to bring Rick back, give us his last story, some big final battle, or just something to give it the climactic ending that we all want to see, and we can be okay with not having these shows anymore, and they can maybe come up with something new. But that's probably wishful thinking, because as long as people keep tuning in, Scott Gimmel's going to keep milking these characters in this franchise for all it's worth, because he's made that clear. That's the type of person he is. He doesn't care about the story or anything. So there you go. Anyways, I guess enough complaining about that aspect of it. But if you enjoyed my breakdown and my theories and everything, please leave a like, leave a comment, consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it, and I will see you next time. Take care. Bye.